Well, here we are. Just squeezing out my Paladin brush. Whoop up my lather Saliski soaps. Frankincense and myrrh. Tis the spirit. Tis the time of the holidays. Had to soak my brush during the shower. It's a late day shave. It's like at least 11 o'clock. Because we had to have Comcast out this morning, which is the topic of the old man rant for the day. And it's a bummer because sometimes there's bad interactions and stuff. It's not always the fault like of the frontline folks, but they're the ones out there. I don't know how much training these guys have. I mean, I assume that there's a lot of turnover and there's a lot of intricacies to what they have to deal with, and so they kind of get the bait. But maybe they have like long training courses, in which case they ain't no excuse. I'll set the stage for you. Is my beard a little, do we need a little touch up for camera? We always place our TV kind of at the wall that's most accessible for the cable coming in or whatever. So we did the same in this house. And lived that way for many years. But recently, I'm going to have a large group of people over for Christmas and finally decided, all right, time to bite the bullet, move the couch and TV to give us more space, which results in the TV, long story short, kind of in the middle of the room. There's a big room, right? In the middle of it is a big fireplace, chimney, all that stuff. So kitchen on one side, living room on the other, like space all around, right? So if you're coming in from an outside wall, you gotta cut across the floor. I think I mentioned this once before, and we thought we're just gonna have to deal with a wire across the floor and put a rug on it or something, but nope. Comcast has wireless boxes. Awesome. So we order the wireless box, it shows up, we hook it up. No bueno. It works for seconds at a time and then freezes up. So we keep resetting the box. And my wife calls and they do some over-the-air magic stuff. Same thing. Finally set up a appointment. So I guess at least kudos for Comcast that they have weekend appointments. Otherwise, you'd be like those poor folks that have to take a half a day off of work or something, So anyway, guy shows up, right? First thing he says is, well, Wi-Fi doesn't work well through a fireplace. Makes sense. Like we're at the concrete or whatever your thing is. It's a dense thing. But I point out, smartly, we have an Apple TV, Wi-Fi, hooked up to the same TV, Apple TV box even inside the fireplace, working fine, has been working fine. So I'm like, the Wi-Fi is fine, Apple TV. So my frustration is, I believe that they get told, here's all the steps you have to take. And I get where this comes from. It's kind of like if you call IT at work, right? And they'll say, okay, first I want you to reset your computer. I just reset it 10 minutes ago. I know. Well, yeah, but let's do it again, because I'm sure people will think that's not going to fix it and just say they reset it just to not have to do that. And then it's fine. My frustration is the lack of critical thinking, especially when they're there seeing things, that goes along with these visits sometimes. So TV hooked up to Apple TV, operating over Wi-Fi just fine. Cable box pulled out, still frozen when he gets here. He still says it could be Wi-Fi, claiming that it could be on a different frequency or something. Now, I don't know how Wi-Fi works, other than magic. I know that your router used to have it does have a slow and a fast side or whatever, and we used to have separate logins to force like the devices that we don't want taking up the high speed connected to the high speed, but now it's just all one login, and the router whatever figures it out, or that's what we're told. But he says, yeah, I get that your Apple TV is working. It could be our thing operates on a different frequency, so it's having more problems. And my first, I kind of mentioned this nicely kind of later on down the road when we're waiting for the box to reset for like the 10th time. And I point out that the Apple TV still works. I said, but that's your competition right there. So if Comcast, I know it's not up to him, so I'm like not frustrated with him or anything, just kind of, by the way, your company might want to realize that your competition is working. So anyway, he says, whatever, Wi-Fi not working for Comcast for whatever reason, but then asking where the router is, and yeah, it's the fireplace and all this stuff. So then I point out we've got a Wi-Fi extender from Comcast behind the couch, a mere 10 feet away. So can that not be, please, the end of the discussion about Wi-Fi is the problem? Oh no! It's only 10 feet away, air gap between the two things. Not the fireplace. No. Can we pull out the extension magigi and plug it in at this outlet right next to the fireplace, and he's gonna move the box so they're like 2 feet apart? What happens? The second we unplug the Wi-Fi extender, the TV says like loss of internet signal, blah, 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 making it very clear that it was connected and working through the extender. Now, I think I forgot to say when he came in and kind of mentioned it could be the box, but it's very rare that it's box, and it's usually not the box. I think they do everything they possibly can to avoid having to swap out your box. I don't know, it costs money or whatever. So now we've pulled out the couch, we've moved the Wi-Fi extender, they're 2 feet apart. Still not working. And not only that, now the Wi-Fi extender is smack next to the fireplace, which you would think would block the signal from the router to the extender. And so I kind of point that out. He's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. But he's still like, well, you have a dead space right here around your fireplace. Again, completely negating that Apple TV is working and all that stuff. So then he mentions, well, our two options would be maybe to bring the router upstairs because that's a stronger signal, or just hardwire the cable box. In being that it's freaking kind of on a hearth of a fireplace, you'd have to drill through the fireplace, or like we were going to avoid, have a cable running across the living room to the box. I could have done that, a month ago, my friend. So what do I do? I thought, all right. Again, logic went out the window, I think, as soon as we saw that the signal disconnected when we moved the Wi-Fi extender. It was working right there. So I go downstairs, I unhook the router. We hook it up to the cable that's shoved behind the couch from where it used to be. Have the router out on a table. Now we're from the router to the cable boxes, again, maybe 10 feet, just air gap, nothing at all. Cable box starts working. And so he's like, there you go. You either need to leave the router up here, where it's our main computer and printer and all that stuff is downstairs, the office, or hardwired. And I'm kind of thinking, okay, the dude works from the company. This is not making sense to me, but I can't force him to do anything, right? The last thing he needs to do is go check the cable signal coming into the house. The strength, I guess maybe that's for his report or whatever, right? He leaves the house. Before he's got to walk out and down the stairs to the outside of the house. Before he gets around the front of the house, cable freezes up. I go out and call him and said, not working again. Here the router is 10 feet away from this thing. Yeah, maybe it's the box. I don't know. I think he was here an hour and a half, which was an hour and 15 minutes after using logic. It was evident that the box was the problem. Oh. Again, nice enough guy. No problem with the guy. Just kind of the this is what I'm supposed to do versus let's walk through the steps of how your equipment works and think about what's happening. Not just come on, man. Uh-oh, got a cherry there. Ooh, oh, that was uncool. That was the blade just straight. Watch, can we get blood if we pull it open? I felt that dig in, bury itself in the cheek. I don't know what. Apparently, I'm a vampire. There's no blood now. Oh, there's a little. It's gonna come. Sons of guns. Not cool. Was it Comcast? Is this karma? Comcast karma getting me. Don't badmouth the man. Anyway, I would say he was a nice fella. And actually, as things started not working, started kind of listening to what I was trying to say. We had a communication gap during that first half hour where I was trying to explain the logic steps, and he was not having any of it. He was nice. He wasn't telling me I'm wrong, but he just kind of kept mentally going down his checklist. So we will see. We shall see. Other than that, went to the Dickens Fair yesterday. Always a combination of a good time and a little bit of anxiety because of too much people pushing and shoving. In a happy Christmas, Londony way. And then in Gap of Rain, got most of the Christmas lights outside. Got them on the house. That's the important part. Christmas lights in the front of your house don't count until you got your house lit up. You gotta have the house lit up. Unless you're doing something amazing in your front lawn, and that does not count. Blow up crap in the front of your lawn does not count. That takes no imagination. You're buying a box, plugging it in. That's right, I said it. I'll say it again. And the other thing, I've said it every year, those damn projector things that project like laser crap onto your house. We got it. You bought the box and plugged it in. Looks just like you did in the store. Good job. All right. Have we offended half the viewers at this point? Half of them. All right. We got the elm. How are we doing over here? I got my favorite towel. I don't want to bloody it up. We gotta see. So the technique is you wipe it. Pat it dry. We're done with this towel. Put this towel away. Don't bloody that one up. Next off with Quinn's. go. Rest of the day. What's the rest of the day? No Zoom call today, boys. No Zoom call. We ironically, we need to be planning for Christmas, but tonight opens up the time we start signing up for things for our cruise during spring break. So we have to plan on what do we need to sign up for. You know, the thing that hopefully will help this is Nivea 2-in-1. Hoppa! This moment Hoppa brought to you by Ombre's Barbershop, the sweetest smelling barbershop in Tucson. If you've been sending in your peppermint like I asked you to, let's liven up his joint. Make it the Christmassy spirit smell. Leather and peppermint. Boy, that's cowboy Christmas. So anyway, we got to decide on that and do some wrapping. Nothing that has to get done today other than the cruise stuff. So that's cool. That's a good way to end the weekend. Kind of ease into Monday there. Am I done? Is that it? We did the 2-in-1. We did the quints. I gotta pick a scent. I have this. Where's this weird one? I gotta put on my glasses. It's saffron, which is the one I always pick when I'm thinking this frankincense and myrrh. I bought this in France. It's fancy. It's fancy stuff. But you gotta be in the mood for it. It's a different kind of scent. We'll do that. There you go. Come join us on the cadre. Peace. See you on the forum.